Okay, I said in the first half hour, I've held this topic till after 9 o'clock because it's an adult-type topic and most of the kids will be out of the cars and going to school at the moment. It's about a video and a music video clip, and for the first time ever, the Australian Psychological Society has got onto the media authorities and argued that this video should be banned. Now, I'll talk to Michael Carr-Gregg about this later, the adolescent psychologist. It's a video by Chloe Lattanzi, who is Olivia Newton-John's daughter. I've watched it. It's pretty dark stuff. It's called Play With Me. It does involve simulated suicide, electrifying yourself in a bath, slitting the wrists, holding a gun to a head. It involves drug taking, certainly some aggressive, violent reaction from men towards women. It is very dark stuff. I hate banning things. I really hate banning things. But I wonder if this is... The psychologists are saying this has got the potential to be really destructive for kids, really destructive, because it normalises, legitimises, glorifies, glamorises potentially suicide. She's on the line from Los Angeles. Chloe Lattanzi, good morning. Thanks for talking to us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I hate to talk about banning things, but can you see the point here that this could be dangerous?
I mean, if you want me to be honest from my perspective, yes. No, because I'm coming from a healthy psychological standpoint. It may not look that way. But if you look like artists like Marilyn Manson and people who have pushed boundaries and done things that sort of, challenge the status quo, you have people saying Marilyn Manson was the reason, that the kids in Columbine got shot. And really all it is all I was doing was, I feel like a music video is a short film, and I got to play a part, and it was really an expression of a relationship that I went through, and literally that is how I felt inside. I mean, I felt like I was dying inside in front of this person, and they didn't recognize what was going on within me, and it's pure metaphor. I know it's intent. It was supposed to be, but I think that's the point. I mean, if you ask for me, if I ask anyone who's a musician or an artist, they don't really censor themselves because they're afraid it might offend somebody else. I mean, if we did that, we'd miss out, I think, on a lot of great films. Or I'm not saying I'm great, but I'm saying we'd miss out on a lot of new innovative stuff.
But you said you're psychologically robust, which is good. But you weren't always. If you look back at the time when you were suffering from anorexia, could you see, and that's got all the complexities around it, probably depression and other issues. I don't want to pry on that. But could you see when you're in a vulnerable position, as you certainly were with anorexia, how something so dark and apparently glamorizing suicide could be dangerous to somebody if you're not in a good place?
Number one, I apologize for interrupting you. No, I'm not glamorizing it at all. If anything, it was just metaphorical. I feel like the song, if people really pay attention, they'll notice it's me and a man in every shot, and I'm self-destructing, and he sits there staring blankly, not looking at me once. Yeah. And I think that if you're paying attention to the content, I'm not like wearing a shirt that says, yay, kill myself. It's really not like that. It's just expressing being ignored. And through, for me being someone who has been, I have been through anorexia and all of that, I know for a fact that I saw a lot of dark imagery, watched horror films, watched things like that when I was ill, and in no way did it affect me in thinking I want to kill myself. I mean, if anything, darker music and images like that helped me realize I wasn't alone in my turmoil. I think it's very scary, as like in your youth, if you feel like no one else is going through the same weird thoughts or things like that. And this is just purely artistic, and I'm not glorifying suicide in any way. I was just basically saying it was really hard to feel unseen by my lover, and that's all the video is really trying to say.
Look, no, I understood that, and you're making that point by getting into a bath and electrocuting yourself and lying on a bed and slashing your wrists, and you're even slashing the wrists. The image of the wrist being slashed is done in the professional way, if you like. Some people who attempt suicide slash their wrists the wrong way. You've done it in the effective way.
But, I mean, I just look at it like this. We might as well ban horror films because it might inspire someone to go put on, a Freddy Krueger mask and go and, stick everybody with a whole bunch of knives. I mean, where does the censorship stop? It's like, we might as well ban all of that. Let's ban every movie with underage sex because that means your 14-year-old daughter is going to see that and she's going to go have a whole bunch of sex. I mean, if you really think about it, it's kind of, why is a music video any different than a film? Then we might as well sit here and ban every horror movie where someone gets decapitated, murdered, raped, all of it, because, who knows? Someone could see that and go, hey, I want to go do that. This is the exact same thing.
You're quite right. I mean, that's the complex issue here. I just quote what the psychologists are saying, and the psychologists are taking it to our media authorities here, the Psychology Association. They say not only does it flagrantly model and promote drug taking, but seriously attempts to normalise and thereby promote serious self-harm. It should be restricted or removed entirely. Now, when you've got people who deal every day with disturbed kids, and a lot of kids are disturbed, as you'd know, 14, 15, and they get through it and go on to very happy lives. But these are people dealing every day with kids who are disturbed, and they're worried about it. Don't you think we should pay some attention to them?
I do, but I think we should also pay attention to all the war that's going on in the world. So we shouldn't have any war movies or anything with violence in it, because there's a whole bunch of violence going on, and that's going to encourage violence. I mean, I honestly, my answer is really that same answer, because I could find a few psychologists that would say that it's perfectly harmless. And I mean, I don't know who the referrals are, but I apologize. I'm not trying to be defensive in any way. I just am really trying to communicate that this was no way intended to have any, dark psychological impact. It was really for me just to get some stuff out of me, and that's the whole point of making music and making art. And I apologize for offending people, but I can't say I believe in censorship, because I'd be betraying everything that I believe in.
Yeah, I got the same problem. I hate censorship. I hate the idea of banning things. However, we ban child pornography, for example. Now, this isn't pornographic. I'm not saying that for a moment. But we make a decision that child pornography is unacceptable to us as a community. So we do, in fact, ban things at times, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But I think child pornography is slightly different. That's not pretend. That's real stuff. This is pretend.
Sure.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. But if you were to make a pornographic movie featuring somebody pretending to be a child, that wouldn't be permitted.
Well, there are people that think people that think pornography should be banned. I'm not one of them, but I don't know how to answer that with the depiction of. I mean, there are those sites where there's like underage girls sites, and this is a completely pretend thing. This is not me having sex with little children.
No. I'm sorry,
I don't know how to respond to that comparison. I apologize.
Oh, no, but I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just making the point that we do at times make decisions to ban things, and no matter how much you and I might intellectually say censorship's a bad thing, neither of us would ever allow legal child pornography. We know it should be banned. You see what I mean? So
yeah, that's a real thing. I think when it comes to things that are pretend, and if it's sexual or if it's artistic in someone's expression, if it's purely pretend, I don't believe in censorship. I mean, that's just me. I think that, that's my freedom as a human being, and I think once we start to censor one thing, where does it stop?
Okay. Well, how would you feel? How would you feel about a sort of an 11 or 12-year-old girl watching this? You think that'd be all right?
I don't know. I think parents should be watching their children and monitoring what they're watching. And I can't, if everybody spent their whole time thinking all the time about the different demographics, different belief systems, different this and that are going to watch their art, then people wouldn't really make the movies they want to make or the music they want to make. I think if the child has good parents giving them healthy messages and monitoring what they're looking at, then that's what's important. That's not my job. I appreciate your point of view very much, but I stand firm in this regard. I thank you very much.
Okay, are you going to do more similar sort of stuff, or is it just this a one-off?
Oh no, this is a complete one-off. I mean, this was something that was relevant to my life that I just needed to get out. Actually, the funny thing, I didn't expect it to get this much attention. There's so much stuff online that I see that's actually quite much more drastic than this. My friends and I just, we did this purely out of self-expression, and it got all this. I find this fascinating, though. I think these are really great topics to discuss, and it makes me think, and hopefully it'll make other people with the opposing view of mine think about stuff as well. We can all, we can learn from each other.
So what does it say to you? What does it say to you that it's getting this level of attention? Doesn't that say to you this is something different? This is perhaps crossing a line?
No, I mean, a lot of the stuff that films and music that I've liked, a lot of bands that I think make great music and have really important things to say have gotten this kind of controversial attention. I think when you do things out of the norm and you question ideas like that and what's appropriate and what isn't, you're going to get this kind of reaction. If I dressed around in a little tutu and kissed my prince on the cheek, it wouldn't get a second think because it's just, it's easy and it's not pushing any boundaries. But how I felt in the song I wrote about was very intense emotionally for me, and I wanted to express that. I wasn't going to express it in real life. I just expressed it through a movie and playing a part, and it's as simple as that.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.